Hi, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Law&Crime Network. I'm Kenney Baden, and we are in the trial of Jimmy Ray Rogers in Florida, who is accused of killing Teresa Severs. But on the stand now, I want to get you back in because his girlfriend, Taylor Showmaker, is on the stand, and she's under cross-examination trying to explain the discrepancies in her statements. Let's listen. Okay, so we're having a little back and forth on how you refresh a recollection of a witness, but that being aside, let me bring my afternoon guest in, obviously from Florida. You know her well. She first appeared on the air with me. I'm so proud. I'm just like, I'm like a mother hen. Gigi Gonzalez is a trained trial attorney in Florida. Good afternoon, Gigi. And of course, Mike Koribanics, my Jersey man, from across the river, where all good people are born, I should say. I hope he's born there because I'm from Jersey, as you know, too. Gigi, let me start with you. Okay, we have a witness who was very, very tentative, right? I mean, she's clearly young. She is clearly scared. Is the defense making any points with her right now, or does the defense look like they're bumbling?
It looks a little like it's bumbling, only because, like you said, this is a very young witness. And, in order to get her to really go with you here, I think she's got to be a little bit more mature. And right now she's looking like a scared 10-year-old on the stand. I'm not going to lie to you. So I'm sure the defense is pretty frustrated with this witness.
So Mike Koribanics, the prosecutor presented her. It was a very low-key presentation. The defense is on the stand cross-examining her. Obviously, their main point is that either she can't remember or the inconsistencies in her statement. Now, I was always taught when you have inconsistencies, you start with the board. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 7,432, so that even if they're small, you can show them to the jury, and then you have that exhibit marked at the very end. What say you as to how the defense is doing showing her inconsistencies?
I think the defense is not doing a very good job, and it appears to me, quite frankly, as the defense isn't very prepared. You know where you're looking for inconsistencies when you're going through sworn statements, and you know you're going to have a tough witness, so you better be prepared for alternative theories to get them into evidence. I think she's using refreshing recollection, but these are sworn statements. If it doesn't refresh her recollection, have the page ready, give the surrounding circumstances, show she signed it under oath, and read it into the record.
And read it into the record, absolutely. As a matter of fact, Gigi, you don't even have to give her a chance to refresh her recollection if it's a sworn statement, do you?
No, you don't, Linda. Just the sworn statement itself, it's not hearsay, it's admissible in court.
And Mike Koribanics, and people are confused, even lawyers that I teach about refreshing recollection. You don't need to say, here's your sworn statement. Could I refresh your recollection and bumble them all over the place? You can pick up, let's see. Mike Koribanics, you have this wonderful tie, which I'm now about to undo. I'd like to show this to the jury, okay? I would like, here it is. Here it is. We're having a little demonstrative exhibit. Here's Mike Koribanics' tie. Okay, does this refresh your recollection? You can use anything to refresh your recollection, right, Mike?
Well, not that tie specifically, but yes, you could. You can use a ham sandwich to refresh recollection if that helps you.
Well, I'm making a point, Mike Koribanics, because people don't know that you can bring in your kitchen sink if it helps the witness refresh their recollection. We have to take a quick break. Stay with us. We'll be right back in this amazing case where the girlfriend of a defendant is on the stand testifying. I'm going to talk to my guests a little bit because while we're covering the case of Jimmy Ray Rogers, who is accused of being one of the hit people in the brutal hammer death of Teresa Severs, Mike Koribanics, one of my guests here, is lucky I don't have a hammer today, by the way, is that, let me just say this. This is a self-help divorce case, right, Mike Koribanics?
Well, the whole premise of the divorce is rather unusual, and to see somebody go because of they're blaming the wife for not providing his sexual needs or going along with his desires and going through menopause, and I think it's a horrible sell to a jury. It's victim shaming or blaming, however you want to put it, but by the same advancement of an argument, the prosecution is left with the facts and the reasons they were given for the way a case was going through.
Yeah, and Gigi Gonzalez, this whole blaming of the victim, she had to be killed. She had to be murdered, allegedly, the prosecution believes, by her husband, who's going to be on trial after this case, we believe. Curtis Wright, one of his friends, has already pleaded guilty. Now, Jimmy Rogers is on trial right now for being part of the hit team with Curtis Wright. But the whole idea that he had to kill her because she was going through menopause, blaming the victim, blaming the female, and therefore she deserved to die. I mean, I'll tell you what, maybe this won't go so much against Jimmy Ray Rogers, but if the husband is tried, what do you think?
It's a disturbing premise, and it's not a defense at all. You're in a marriage for better or for worse, in sickness and in health. Menopause is a natural thing women go through, and for you to take your feelings out by murdering her, it's a ridiculous defense.
And let's see what the defense does now on cross-examination of Taylor Showmaker, who is the girlfriend, or former girlfriend, I should say, of Jimmy Ray Rogers at the time the homicide was committed. Okay, so we have another little bit of a delay, but let's talk a little bit about trial practice here. Obviously, Mike Koribanics, Ms. Showmaker, is very nervous. She just drank some water, a clear sign that you're a little nervous. She's hot. She's getting flushed in the face. But the defense attorney, when she didn't answer a question exactly some way or couldn't remember, the defense attorney goes, humph. Okay, now, where the heck is the prosecutor objecting to that? That is an outrageous way to try a case, unless you can get away with it.
Well, she's getting away with it, so it's good for the defense. I think the prosecutor has to be a little more protective of this witness, and that was sort of a good time to do it, because you always got to be careful, as you know, with objections. Right. Is it hurting me if I object? Am I highlighting it? But something like that is just so opinionated and unprofessional that I think the prosecutor should have objected. If you don't like something on cross, you don't like the answer, you ask with another question. Yeah. Preparation.
And Gigi Gonzalez, I mean, I'm feeling for this witness on the stand, so I'm not even at this point now listening, if I'm the juror, to almost what she's saying after she, on direct examination, said that Jimmy Ray Rogers, while they were in bed, said that he killed Teresa Severs with a hammer, okay? So you've got a long way to go when you have to cross. But when you're the prosecutor now, who then does interpose an objection after and says, I'm going to object, Your Honor, what should the prosecutor be doing to reinforce the fact that this witness needs to be protected, but is a good witness?
That the defense is badgering this witness. This is a young witness who is clearly distraught and nervous to be there, and the defense picking at her and, scoffing at her answers intimidates the witness and does not allow for a proper, pursuit of justice here. So that's what the prosecution should have based that objection on.
Right, Mike Koribanics, you don't have to say I'm going to have to object here. You say objection and lay it out to, either for the jury if indeed the judge lets you. But let's talk about another thing. When she got on the stand, when Taylor Showmaker got on the stand and she's on direct cross-examination, she says something like, to the answer to the cross question, he, meaning Jimmy Ray Rogers, who was on trial for murder, let me move in with him, in a very low voice, as if like she has to ask permission. She just doesn't have anything. She's in a bad state. How does that help or hurt her for the jury?
I think it helps her greatly. I think it gives a little bit more forgiveness to the fact that she aided in destruction of evidence in this case, that she was under his beck and call. And actually, when she testified to that, you could see she was only getting instructions as they were moving along. Like when he said, throw the jumpsuit out the window. She said, I was so shocked that I was supposed to throw it out over the bridge so it would go into the water, but by the time I was able to react to what was happening, we already crossed the bridge, and that's how it wound up on land. So I think she looks very susceptible to manipulation.
So while we think about more things, because indeed she did get rid of evidence at the request of her boyfriend, and therefore there are other implications we can talk about later, we have to take one of those quick breaks here at the Law and Crime. Stay with us. We'll be right back.